Okay. There it goes. Oh, yeah, I just got the text
You're on,
now.
dude. Go.
And welcome to another installment of Infinite Playroom. I'm your host, Stu Pedasso. It's May 21st, 2017. Joining me this week, we have Ironclad Meat Rag,
What's up? What's up?
Harry Sactal,
What's up, guys?
and Vigai.
Oh, what it is.
What it is indeed. This week, we are actually streaming live to Facebook. So feel free to interject in the chat
Oh,
room
yeah, chat room.
where you'll be able to respond to some of the topics we talk about. And Harry Sactal is manning that. And he'll let us know your thoughts. And we'll be able to answer questions, comment on them, things like that. So this is going to be an ongoing feature that we will be trying out. So let us hear from you. Let us know what you think. We will truly enjoy that. So, everyone having a good week so far?
Can't complain.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, I think it has. Um, a lot of upcoming news. You know, E3's uh, what 2.5 weeks away, 3 weeks now, even
Yeah,
sooner than that, I think.
something like
Uh,
that.
and I'm still really kind of surprised how much news is actually coming out. Still, I would have thought some of the stuff they would have saved for E3, but let's first up, we got a big Destiny 2 release. I don't know, not many of us were into Destiny 1. I know I had a level 40 character that I really enjoyed, a Warlock, and I think Ironclad, you actually played a little bit more than that, didn't you?
I maxed out the original and then had like a character that had some light, which is like
Mm-hmm.
I guess prestige basically, kind of just like the leveling after it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just one of the ones that were on it when it first came out. I bought it and was all on the hype train, and I played it pretty well. I was kind of in the same group where everybody jumped on and were kind of disappointed in the storyline, but yet the gameplay was so well that they stayed with it. And I was kind of part of that, but I fell off because there's just nobody to play with, and it was such a multiplayer heavy game that kind of just fell off after maxing out the characters. I just keep doing the same run over and over and over again. I get really tired of it. So I was big in it, but definitely fell off hard.
Yeah. The second one, there's been a ton of news. I think you posted something over on the Facebook page that I think it's looking pretty good. Some of the stuff that I saw that really caught my eye, it looks like they are uh, the story mode anyway. They're attacking the moon base, or what they call it, the Citadel, or
The moon
uh,
base?
no, what
The
Oh,
tower?
the
the
floating
tower.
thing? Yeah.
Yeah, the tower. That's what it's called. The new enemy attacks the tower, and so it looks like you'll actually be fighting in the remnants of what the tower used to be. You lose all your abilities, and I don't know. The Bungie release trailer looked pretty cool. Talked a lot about cool things. Some new supers, which I thought were really interesting, was the Warlock. I think they're calling him the Dawn Blade now, though. Gets like a fiery sword that shoots balls of fire down. It's like,
Can't argue with that.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
that
down.
looks super cool. Uh,
Balls.
the Titan, they're now calling the Sentinel, gets some type of like a Captain America shield that he can throw, and it looked like it was ricocheting back and forth between like 3 to 4 different enemies at once.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, right. I was like, oh man, it's like an energy shield of some sort. But and then the Arcstrider or Hunter gets a staff, and they go all like Keelik on him. So I don't know. Seems pretty cool. We'll see. At first, I was thought, man, how are you going to justify losing everything you dumped into Destiny 1? But from the way they describe this, Bungie seems to have a plan to make it seem not so painful. But, well, time will tell. We'll see. The release date is September, hmm, sometime September this year.
Does anybody else find it strange that Bungie planned out a franchise that was going to last a decade. They said that right out the gate.
True.
And yet they didn't pre-plan an infrastructure that would allow for transfer of shit from one game to the next.
I mean, they did it successfully already with 360 to Xbox One and PS3 to PS4. So I don't understand why it's a problem now. I mean, I get it's the same platform, but I mean, it's the same.
Well, I don't think it's an issue of like a technological issue of them transferring from one to another. I think the issue is they're trying to modify the actual gameplay functionality, and they can't do that with the old system with the way things are set up. So, now they're adding a few things like you can carry 3 weapons now. You have your power weapon and then 2 other minor weapons, which previously, from
Well, you had
at
3 in
least
the
what they
past,
were,
didn't you not? I thought you had.
I think your pistol was considered one, but now you can interchange your pistol with like a submachine gun or a pulse rifle or one of the others, and then you still have your like heavy. So they give you a little more freedom, which to be honest, I don't know why that couldn't be fixed with a patch in the original Destiny. But from what I'm understanding, they just wanted to kind of revamp the actual gameplay mechanics. So I don't know. We'll see how it actually turns out. I've not talked to any actual hardcore Destiny people to see what they think. At this point, I would be like, why am I still playing Destiny now if this is coming out in September? Especially if you've already got max light level and things like that. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe this will be something we get into. I think it could
I
be.
hope so. I think with a lot of people, it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, let's kind of move into some E3 stuff. 2 things that I wanted to mention. I believe Ironclad posted this on the Facebook page as well. But last week we talked about how Nintendo, as norm, wasn't really doing the E3 festivities. They were doing more of their Treehouse event that they do and kind of pre-recorded thing that they just send in and post up like a day before E3 typically. Well, an article that Ironclad posted, it says Nintendo will actually be attending E3 this year. The headliner for their show this year will, of course, be Super Mario Odyssey, which will also be available at their showroom floor. Events will begin with Nintendo's Spotlight, Nintendo Treehouse, and game tournaments for both ARMS and Splatoon 2, which will be taking place this E3. Let's see what else it says here. Okay, Nintendo Treehouse live at A3. The event will immediately follow Nintendo's Spotlight and will focus on live gameplay for all upcoming games for the Switch and Nintendo 3DS, which were announced at this and previous events. Throughout all of the exciting gameplay will be interviews and behind-the-scenes peeks with game developers themselves. So,
Well, it's cool that they'll be at the party. I like seeing all my pet game companies play together nice at least once a year.
Yeah.
This is the first time they've been at E3 officially in
I was going to ask
many a
that.
year
Yeah,
that I can
it's
remember.
been a long time, I feel like.
Yeah. I did catch an article that said the game to be playing on the Switch these days is Lego Undercover. Yeah. So it's also $20 off on Amazon currently. They said if Mario Kart 8 wasn't hitting your Switch itch, then check out Lego Undercover, which was kind of like a Grand Theft Auto Lego game, kind of. Anybody play it?
No, I've never heard of it.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. It's definitely one worth checking out. I heard that was pretty good.
The only Lego game I really played extensively was Pirates of the Caribbean on 3DS because it was one of those early launch titles when there wasn't really anything to play. Oh, it was fine, I guess. I just found it repetitive. Some people go really crazy for those Lego games, though.
Yeah,
so.
they're like a
They have
completionist dream.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cult following, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember playing, I think, a demo, or I don't know what it was. It might have just been like a hand-me-down game. I did the Star Wars one. It was a lot of fun. I remember having some fun with it. So I guess
Complete
everybody's having it.
Saga is a Games for Gold title this month. The Lego Complete Saga.
Oh, really? Of Star Wars?
Yeah. It's episodes 1, 2, and 3, or maybe it's 1 through 6. I don't know.
I don't know how that worked. There was a bunch of them, though.
Yeah. I know I did the Marvel superhero Lego one, and I really liked it. It was really good. But they're all the same, like you said. The puzzles are similar. But it's interesting to see the little Easter eggs that they put in for the customers.
Mhm.
I don't know. If you're a fan of that genre, for sure, it's worth checking out. Like, if you're into that franchise they're copying, it's definitely worth it. But,
Definitely would try.
okay. There was an article that got posted earlier today about what Sony needs to bring to E4 or E3.
E4, sweet.
Yeah, sorry. I was reading an article about PlayStation 4 title that needs to come out, and I was talking with Vi Guy about this a little bit, and he said, "Oh yeah, this is definitely one." But here are 10 titles that Sony needs to show off at E3. The first was one called Deep Down that he seemed to know a little bit more about than I realized. But this is a free-to-play action RPG from Capcom. And it says it was first announced back in 2013. Vi Guy, what do you recall about this title?
I recall a logo. And I recall a lot of hype around this game that I don't really think would have happened if it had been just a logo. So I'm thinking I'm not remembering something about this game because it was something people talked about for a few weeks after that E3, but then it just kind of went silent. Haven't heard anything about it. It just kind of disappeared. Rumblings out of Japan, but I guess it's a Capcom thing.
It is a Capcom title. I didn't realize it mentioned it was free to play. Do you remember that aspect of it?
No, I don't remember that at all.
Okay.
Maybe that's why it's coming back out now. They scrapped the original and said, I'm free to play, boys.
And perhaps it is why it's coming back at this point as a free to play option. Maybe they're going to try and use the pay to play title to fund its development a little further or something. I don't know. It's hard to say, but
coming from Capcom, surely it'll be something more substantial than just a pay to play or pay to win, whatever.
Yeah. Another Sony type, what we heard back about in 2013, was Media Molecules Dreams. Originally shown as just a tech demo, Dreams was officially announced 2 years later, 2015 E3. It's a sandbox creation tool that builds upon the PlayStation VR, and you actually use the VR headset to create different environments and things like that. Seems like it could be cool. Media Molecules, the guys that did Little Big Planet, and
love that game.
Yeah, so it seems like this could be something up their alley, especially once you remember all of the created levels that Little Big Planet had. You know, I feel like that kind of took over the game itself, and that was the reason people stuck with that title as long as they did. So, yeah, a lot of potential there. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more about it. We haven't heard much about it since the PlayStation VR released. So we'll see how they pull that off. But, this next one is probably the biggest one on my list, but Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like, at least release date, right? Surely we're going to get that.
Yeah,
at this E3.
They need to keep that momentum going that they started 2 years ago by giving us an update. Was that 2 years ago or was that last year?
Last year, I thought.
Yeah, I think it was last year. We
Oh.
have gotten some screenshots and a little bit of gameplay, right?
That's what I've heard, but I haven't seen any of it.
Okay, I thought I had.
Oh, you mean, yeah, I think they showed the boss battle, the very first boss battle with the Scorpion mech thing?
Yes, yeah, that's what I thought we'd see.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looked good. Be interesting to see how it's changed since then and now, I guess. It would be nice to get a release date on at least disc 1 of this episodic game.
Yeah, it would be fun. You know, and to be honest, it does give me a little hope. If they're going back to remake Final Fantasy VII, maybe we could get a new Final Fantasy Tactics somewhere down the line.
Oh, God.
It's been a long time.
That would be a big deal if they did.
Yeah.
I would like that.
Yeah, it would be. It would
Go
be.
ahead and give us a Tactics Ogre too while you're at it. Thank you. Don't mind if I do.
Shumei 3 in 2015. Sony helped
Shenmue?
debut. Shenmue.
Shenmue.
Yep. Shenmue 3.
There you
Thank
go.
you for that.
That's
Oh,
what I'm here for.
Okay.
My Asianese is not very good. Thank you. Thank you
Yep,
for
that
that.
helped.
Phil.
Saying that
Yeah,
helped a lot.
Asianese is
What?
exactly what you should have
What?
said.
Yeah, that's a good thing you
Th-
said that.
Does anybody know? Is that Chinese?
I don't talk Oriental good.
Japanese?
Fucking
Okay,
no,
fair enough. That's actually better put.
Yeah, no, this is all good and cut.
In 2015, Sony helped debut a Kickstarter for the sequel to the legendary Shenmue franchise. Anybody ever play any of these titles in this franchise?
No, I've been wanting for years for somebody to explain to me what a Shenmue is.
I have played
You said
Shenmue
what?
2. I don't know what Shenmue. No, it's not the guy's name.
Well, no, I mean, it sounds like the kind of thing that would be right up my alley, but I don't understand why there's such a cult following, and I don't really understand what kind of JRPG this was.
I mean, I think it was really way before its time because it was on the Dreamcast too, and just like the Dreamcast, it failed because I think it was a little ahead of its time, and unfortunately, it didn't sell well. But man, that game was interesting. It's hard, but like, I mean, it's like you're literally living a life of this guy. Actually, it kind of sounds like when I hear somebody describe Persona, like how real time passes. So real time passes, and then you basically have a journal, and it's almost like detective work because, spoiler, your dad has died. I don't know if it happened in the first one because I've only played Shenmue 2.
Okay.
But your dad has recently died, and you're trying to find his killer. And basically, you're just going from place to place and writing down in your journal, and you have to like, kind of, figure out detective work, basically. And it's pretty good because it's large. It's a very large game. You can do almost everything. There's arcades in the game that you could do, side missions.
Interesting.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm gonna see if I can maybe.
Is it an action? What's combat like? Is it turn-based menu stuff, or is it live action? Or okay, maybe he can't hear me right now.
Cool, super.
Well, regardless, it looks like Shenmue 3 has a release date December 2017. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, we'll see it debut as it's supposed to. But nonetheless, if it is coming out that quick, surely we'll have to see something about it at this year's E3. It's coming in next month. So. Also, topping the list is Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding. With some big name actors attached to this, everybody from Norman Reedus to Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen.
Man,
they showed that new trailer.
In that trailer too.
Yeah, hopefully they'll give us a new trailer that lasts 20 seconds with a new actor this year, maybe.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
No, I love Mads Mikkelsen. It just seems like this is a slow grind on this game. I don't know that we're going to get it.
It's not moving fast. It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, no, we definitely aren't going to see it this year, but surely they're going to get something at E3 to satiate our addiction for anything that Kojima seems to have his hands on. So
yeah,
I think there's got to be more we'll see. So far, the trailers they put out have been of such intriguing quality that it would be a missed opportunity, to say the least. So,
yeah.
Let's see. Followed up with this is God of War. This is the follow-up. Well, I think was it the PlayStation 4 release that we saw, or was this last E3?
I think it was last E3 when we saw the
trailer with his son,
Kratos and his son.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, then, we definitely got to show more of this. This one's taking place more in like the Viking mythology, and it does seem like Kratos isn't nearly as powerful as he was.
He's getting old, man.
Yeah.
Do guys get old? I mean, I guess that's what I'm saying. Can he? He looks like it. You kind of get that feel, but I mean, does that really follow the mythology?
Yeah, it's hard to say. Hard to say. So it'll be interesting where this storyline takes us in this franchise, and we see how it's actually been. But
what I'm hoping is that he seems weak because he's not whipping chains around the entire screen and basically just getting through the game on somewhat complex button mashing.
Yeah, he doesn't
I'm
come
hoping
across as quite the badass.
I'm
Yeah,
hoping they're gonna rein in his quote unquote superpowers and just make it more of a video game and less of just a blood splash fest.
he had like some hatchets, right?
Yeah, he was throwing them.
Yeah, and that seemed kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out.
Just another reason I got to get a PlayStation, man.
Yeah,
I got to.
Time has come. Time has come. Another reason to definitely get a PS4 or Pro, depending on your preference, is The Last of Us Part 2. This was probably the biggest announcement for E3 last year, right? We saw the trailer where what's his face? What's the guy's name from
Joel?
Joel, thank you. Was walking down the hallway and finds Ellie playing the guitar, and she seems out for revenge.
Yeah.
Talking about killing them all, something like that. So
Do you think they'll keep the previously shown title of The Last of Us Part 2, or do you think there'll be like a name for the second game? Electric Boogaloo or Still Lasting?
I don't know. I think Last of Us Part 2 says it enough. I think enough people associate success with Last of Us that throwing anything else onto it might get somewhat confusing.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a tough decision, but yeah. I hope they stick with just Part 2 because that makes sense.
Yeah, but I hope we get to actually see some gameplay, and I don't suspect it'll be too different from the original, but I'm just kind of curious. They're going to have to make some changes, I'm sure. So,
well, as long as they keep that sense of dread that the first game had, I think they'll be fine. It's Naughty Dog that we're talking about here. They
Sure.
What's the other one I really want to play on there? That kind of like it's very much The Last of Us. Outlast? No, not Outlast.
No, Outlast was not.
No, it's the other zombie one they have on them in the lineup at the moment.
Oh, were you the biker?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that called?
Oh shit, we're so professional here.
You know it.
Damn it! No.
Isn't it funny how we only talk about this handful of games around E3 and like it's just, like 3 years running? It seems like we've been talking about these 4 games.
It was out something though. What was it? Outcast?
No.
Outlast?
No, not Outlast. Outlast
are we talking about?
is the big creeper game. Outlast 2 just dropped not too long ago.
Yeah. No, it was another.
It's a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah.
You're a biker.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It had the ocean of zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Days Gone By?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
I think
Days
that's
Gone.
actually what it is.
Days Gone.
Days Gone.
God, we just can't get it right.
Oh shit. In any case, Days Gone did seem pretty. It wasn't. Did it have an association with Last of Us, or was it just?
No, I don't think so.
It's
It
like the
looked
same
like it.
engine and everything else.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
people were just so expecting of Last of Us 2 that once they saw like shrubbery, they're like, "Oh my god, there it is!"
Yep.
Hmm.
Oh, this is it. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, another title that I expect Sony to bring to the forefront, especially with the synergistic mentality that Marvel has pushed out, is, of course, Spider-Man 4 or Spider-Man Homecoming. I guess the title's just called Spider-Man, but whatever. But Sony has always been known. This is their movie. The Spider-Man movie is a Sony movie, so surely we're going to see the release of the Spider-Man video game. We haven't seen any gameplay, but we have had announcements. You guys like the Spider-Man games?
I've never played them, but I've heard mixed reviews.
I loved them. Maybe like I haven't played them since like the N64 PS1
Yeah.
games, but man, when they were on those consoles, they were a blast.
I've never owned one, but I remember there one being on PS2 that everybody was just like unanimous.
I
that
think
it was
that's the one that I'm thinking
best
of.
one.
Yep.
Dude,
Yeah,
there was a red cartridge N64 called Maximum Carnage, and it was
Wait a minute,
Yeah, I
I
remember that
Maximum
one.
Carnage.
yeah, it was
Oh, wow.
awesome. Yeah.
I did remember I thought it was the one you were mentioning for the PlayStation 2, and it was very much Grand Theft Auto a la
Whoa,
Yeah, you were
for
just
Spider-Man.
slinging around the city, and they did it just
Mhm.
really well.
Yeah, you had different type of missions. You track down bad guys, web them up, turn them into police. You try and take pictures to earn enough money for whatever stuff. It was cool. I thought they did a good job. Depending on what storyline this one follows, I think it could be good. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely one to keep an eye on if you're into the superhero genre stuff. But it's been a while since we've had a Spider-Man game, so we'll see. We'll see. Next up, I think Sony's gonna really have to show us some PlayStation VR games that are worth the while.
Yeah, they're having some success, and apparently the PSVR is still selling well, extremely well in Japan, and just plain good here. Strong sales. So I would expect to see at least double the amount of PSVR exclusive games that we saw at last year's E3.
Right. You
Yeah.
got to imagine that most of those games are still in Japan and have yet to be ported to us Western folk.
Probably.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably.
Do you think we'll see a lot of titles like Resident Evil 7 that could be played either way?
That would be cool.
Yeah.
It seems like that would be their best bet. You know what I mean?
But it seems like that would probably add cost and time to the production of a game.
Yeah, I mean that was
that not everybody with the deep pockets of Sony is going to be able to pull off.
yeah, but that
Yeah,
was
I'm-
Resident Evil's choice to do that, wasn't it? Not the platform.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean Capcom? Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, maybe there was some backroom talks behind that. Who knows?
Well, it seems like it would offer more exposure for the titles. Like, hey, if we do it this way, not only are the people who have the PSVR going to buy it, but also the people who have the PlayStation going to buy it. And perhaps it'll even encourage them to buy PSVR because now they can experience that way as well, even if they don't, they'll still likely to buy our game. You know what I mean? Because it's all about
Yeah.
moving
It would
units.
would make sense for every PSVR game
Yeah.
to do that. For example, there's a new PSVR game that's getting quite a bit of talk right now. I believe it's called Waypoint.
Yeah.
It's the one that has the gun. You
Yeah,
guys know what I'm talking about?
Space too, I think.
Oh god.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, the enemies are all like spiders.
Ugh.
I'm doing a
Pass.
bad job. I'm doing a bad job. What I'm getting at here is that there is a PSVR game that was just put out that's getting some pretty good reviews that comes
Yeah.
with a gun. This gun replaces your PlayStation Move. It doesn't have
Ah.
little holsters to stick your moves into.
Yeah,
It is its own thing.
it's its own thing. Oh, sweet.
Now that's a $30 peripheral, so you're looking at a $60 game plus $30 more. That's $90 if you want to play this.
Yeah,
PSVR
but if you've
game
already
with
dropped
the
that
edge
much
of
on
the
a
gun.
PSVR, that's probably not too big of a deterrent to you.
Right. What I'm getting at though is that this is a game that can be played without the $30 gun. So I can tell the Sony is looking at multiple ways to play their games, like we were just talking about with Resident Evil 7. So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll see more and more of that. Just, hey, this game's coming out. Here are the ways you can play it.
Cool. And then, of course, we'll surely see a few new IPs from established Sony publishers or developers. The developer that brought us the Infamous games, which I heard the last one was actually pretty good.
Yeah, Second Son.
Second Son.
Yeah, Second Son. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Sucker Punch, I think they're called. There are rumored that they are going to be announcing a new IP, which I thought would be pretty cool.
I always love new IP, so.
Yeah. And Harry and I were talking about this pre-show, and I think he mentioned that Killzone might be making a reappearance as well.
Oh, I haven't heard anything.
I mean,
Seems like that
the
would
site-
be some weird timing for that.
Yeah, the site that I was on, everything that I was reading was kind of very long shot. I mean,
Kind of
and the
conjecture.
site
only.
was saying, this is very much predictions. It wasn't anything set in stone. Because as soon as I saw that Killzone, I was like, I don't know about all that.
I mean,
I
the
know
folks
that
who do-
for sure,
But the folks who do Killzone just put out Horizon Zero Dawn.
and
Exactly,
that's
so they're probably
what's
moving on to
used
something.
And yeah, maybe they are. Maybe
Yeah.
you'll hear something about it, but I mean, I don't
Okay.
think it's gonna be out.
I mean, all your staff isn't required for like DLC content if they do release it for Horizon. So I would imagine that
Horizon
they're
Zero
having
coverage.
this. Yeah, I'm imagining they're moving to something new. So
Yeah.
That would be the
Yeah,
Yeah,
way to
or
go.
bounce back like many studios do between perhaps the sequel, between these two franchises. Now
I
that
don't know. It just feel like
Horizon,
Killzone. I did feel like Killzone would be a step back for them. Horizon is such more. It's so much more of a big deal than Killzone
yeah.
was.
Well, it's a completely different game, but I think part of that is because and Killzones weren't bad games. I think I played the second one briefly over at a friend's house for a little bit, and it's a good first-person shooter. It wasn't bad,
I enjoyed them. The
but
PlayStation 3 wasn't half bad either.
yeah, yeah. But this is such a different departure from a first-person shooter that I think the fact that they pulled it off so well was a little surprising, for a company who is, I don't know, throwing out these first-person shooters like they were to throw out such a
Yeah.
decent open-world environment was a very strong showing. So
And it just seemed like they got so much momentum
yeah,
from doing so well with doing such a good job on such a different kind of game. I
Yeah.
figured maybe that's a sign that they're headed in a new direction. I could be wrong.
no,
guess-
possibly. Something else I'm curious that if Sony is kind of on the topic of hardware, though. I think Alex, I'm sorry, I guess Ironclad posted this, I don't know, a few days ago on a Facebook page, but the PlayStation's quote-unquote Switch, I think it's actually called the Playman, Sony Playman, but it is
wait.
a
Sony
tablet.
Playman? So they're like going to do a Walkman Playman kind of deal?
Yeah.
Really?
They should probably stay away from that, honestly. If they want to sell it, you want to stay away from the Walkman.
Yeah. But this is a Switch-like concept console that we've seen. Surely, if it is as far along as it might be, we'll see something at E3 for it. But Ironclad, what can you tell us about this? Since you posted your article, did you get a chance to look it over?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to really say anything with it just being, a concept art, and what makes me think that it could be a real thing is just like when the Wii hit and how big it was, we saw the PlayStation Move and the Kinect, and now that we're seeing the Switch and it doing as well as it is in the Americas, I wouldn't doubt that it's happening. But it seems like it's happening so fast.
Yeah.
Like I can't believe that they're already working on something like this with the Switch, unless they had some insight.
I feel like Sony should have learned by now that they're derivative things that they put out like this. They're things that are a direct answer to what the other guys are doing.
The Vita.
Never works. Their biggest success ever was the PlayStation, and no one was doing anything like the PlayStation at the time. I'm not saying they should give up on the handheld market. I can see why they would after the problems with the Vita. But man, that would be cool if I had a PS4, I could play on the go. What would that be like?
But here's the thing: they've lost to Nintendo in the handheld department so often. Why would they try and do this now?
Well,
because they got really deep pockets and they're doing really well with the PS4.
So I mean, the only thing I can think of is like maybe hopefully they're thinking ahead on this, and they are like, well, we tried this with, peripherals and we failed. Well, I wouldn't say they failed. They just didn't do as well as their competition. They didn't do as well as their competition when it came to the handheld market. But if they release this and say they announce it and they just say, oh, all it is you have a Switch, of course call it Switch, but you have a connector on the back, and it connects to your HDMI, and this thing is just an actual peripheral that you connect to your PS4. Like, you don't have to buy this whole nother platform. And then you can just pick it up and go whenever you want, and it has the entire back catalog of current PlayStation 4 games. That would be huge. Like, because the Switch right now is doing pretty well, but it's only got like pretty much 2 major titles, and one of them is just a port to a new console, and it's doing well and it's selling well. But I just feel like they might not have the content quite yet, and they've announced some things, but they really need to put out more games. If something like this came out where I could just play every PlayStation 4 console, every PlayStation 4 game on this handheld device on the go, I think would be huge in competition for the Switch.
Yeah. Yeah, well said. I think that Sony sees that where they can beat Nintendo is content.
Mm-hmm.
They're already behind the curve a little bit on hardware. The Switch has been out, what, 4 months? 6 months?
Yeah, but when it comes to third-party relationships, Sony's king.
No, it's only been like 2 months, right?
Only
That
2
long.
months?
Yeah,
No.
because April was Mario Kart, and then I
Yeah,
think
it came out in
It's only gotta
March.
be
It
like
came out in
2.5,
March.
March,
So
April,
just
May.
over 2
Oh,
months.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just over 2 months.
2.5
yeah.
months now. So fair enough. Okay. Well, yeah, shit. If they could put this thing out before the end of the year, they really have a shot at really killing it with content where Nintendo would still be struggling. So, yeah,
Any
that's
later
feasible.
than that,
Isn't
any
that
later
always the
than that
case,
would.
though?
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Well, in some of the photos, if you go to our Facebook page and click on that article, it shows a tablet-like device with a stand and two separate.
honestly,
new
it's what you
controllers.
would think a PlayStation Switch would look like.
It really is.
And
Yeah.
But it's just
Yeah.
but it's just a mock-up, right?
Oh yeah, it's just it's a concept design basically. It's
Yeah.
like kind of like a drawing
I
basically.
mean, these things look like legitimate pictures. They don't look like they are. It looks like a prototype, I guess I'll say.
I mean, I don't think this thing is actually made. Is what I'm trying to say. This is just a CGI basically concept.
I
This is
don't.
not I don't think this is a physical item quite yet.
Are you looking at these pictures though?
Yeah, I am.
And you think these are CG created photos?
I don't think they're this far into it. There's no way.
Are you talking about the
maybe,
photos for
maybe.
the actual
I don't know.
console? Quote unquote?
Like, there's a video down at the bottom.
Oh, I did not watch a video.
I didn't.
But the video is just of still images, is it not? If
I
it's
don't
somebody
know.
playing it, then screw me. I can't deny that. But even the one where it has someone holding remotes, I
Oh
still,
yeah, look at those hands. They look fake as
I-
shit.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I don't
No,
think
you're
it's
valid.
quite a
I'll
physical
back you on
item
that.
yet. I mean, look, I am looking at the photo right now, and he's literally playing. Oh, he's playing Horizon Zero Dawn. I was like, if he's playing Breath of the Wild, I'm gonna be really mad. That's just not fair.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, if this is something that Sony plans to release later this year, do you think we'll see it at E3?
Hell no.
Okay.
I think it's way too early for that. I don't know. I think if they did, but I mean, they would just like this. I don't know. The concept just seems too early to be at E3 a month from now. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine something coming out.
Gotcha.
They did Clash Royale, so I wouldn't put it past them.
Who did?
Sony, remember that Smash Brothers game thing clone that they made?
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was Battle Royale or something like
Did
that.
I call it Smash Royale?
Yeah.
Clash.
Clash Royale, my bad. One of those damn Royales.
Yeah, you know.
Royale with cheese. I don't know.
Yeah, right. So in other gaming news, that guy brought this to my attention, and of course Ironclad posted this on the Facebook page, but Square Enix is no longer doing business with IO Interactive from what I gathered.
Yeah, they dropped the Hitman studio.
Yeah, which was, I mean, that last Hitman did an episodic content release, and I thought it was well received. It probably didn't.
Well, apparently
sell
a
well.
cult following is not enough anymore.
Yeah, well, that's usually the case. That's why it's cultish.
You know, I mean,
But-
in the circles that it's popular in, Hitman is huge. People love it. I've just never played one personally, and I think most people are that way.
Yeah. Oh, I've played more than one, and I've always enjoyed them. If you're into that stealth, kind of Splinter Cell-ish combat gameplay.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed it. I like games where you can do things more than one way, and I think Hitman really brought that to the forefront of gameplay and did really well with that. So, something we talked about earlier this week over our group chat throughout the week was Netflix bringing to life a Witcher live-action series.
Yeah, it is.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
Um,
Yes, please.
It's possible. It's possible. There might be some titties. Netflix.
Dude, there has to be some titties in that game. What are you talking about? Or not the game. I mean, obviously the game, but it's not going to be The
Yeah.
Witcher without some sort of nudity.
If anything, it'll be more adult than the game was.
What do
That's
you
what
think?
I hope. I hope it gets like a little more adult, a little bit darker.
Yeah. What do you think we'll see like a Game of Thrones-esque
Yeah,
type of
I do.
experience with this,
Just because
where they're going?
the way that Game of Thrones is, and now you got
Hmm.
other shows like The Walking Dead, you got Vikings, and like, man, The
Yeah, I
Witcher just
really
kind
like
of fits
Vikings.
right into that niche.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah,
almost
I could see
perfectly.
that.
And
I think it could be
Ironclad
across.
said too, though, but it's the game developers aren't going to have anything to do with it. It's going to be
CD Projekt Red has nothing to
nothing
do
to
with
do
this
with it.
series.
So it's
Yeah.
just going to be the author of the original books that inspired the game. So that could actually
Yeah.
benefit it better than anything.
He
I
found a way to
basically
get
see it
paid.
as like I basically see it as like a fantasy supernatural.
Yeah, that would be cool. I like Supernatural.
You know?
It'd
Yeah.
be maybe a Monster of the Week type show like X-Files.
Yeah,
Which I'm cool
that'd
with
be
that
cool
too.
too.
Basically, what Supernatural did for a little bit in their first few seasons.
Yeah, they did.
Mhm.
But yeah, it'll be interesting with the world building that he did originally in the book because I've never read any of them. I can only imagine.
Apparently they're really
It's
good.
way
I've
more
heard good things.
extensive.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, dude, what country is that again?
I think
Is it
he
Poland.
was-
Poland.
Yeah, Poland.
Polish.
And
yeah.
they hold like literally the entire country of Poland holds The Witcher dear to its heart. That is like an actual national treasure
Yeah, 'cause
over there.
a lot of
they
that
gave
came out of
Witcher,
like Polish lore.
yeah, and they gave The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt. Poland did. They gave that copy of a title to President Obama as one of their gift
Oh, yeah, I
packages.
remember
for
reading
Poland.
that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's
and
badass.
Obama talks about it. I guess he tried it out and everything. So,
Huh.
but I mean, that being the game,
Yeah.
it's still true to the lore, but it's going to be interesting more than anything to me because, like, you know, us here and a pretty large majority of the U.S. is familiar with the video game before the books, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
And the author actually can't stand that, so it's gonna be interesting, like what his image of what it's gonna be. I just feel like it's gonna be a lot different than what we expect. Like his image in his head, what he might see Geralt or
All right,
go ahead.
round table, off the top of your head. You're in the director's seat. Who do you cast as Geralt?
Aye.
Shit.
Honestly,
he has
man,
such
you
a
could even put
distinct
Mads
look.
Mikkelsen in there.
Yeah, actually, that'd probably be my choice too.
Yeah, you
He'd
could,
be a good
because
one.
he did a character in King Arthur with what's his face, Clive Owen, and like I can see where he could probably do something like that. He could do a lot of crap though. So
I've seen him in a lot of stuff, and he always is a very serious person, which Geralt is that way most of the time, but Geralt has a softer side, too. He has a sense of humor sometimes, too.
But even when he says it in a jokingly way, it's a very, very serious voice when he says it. So,
it's
like,
dry.
even when he's saying, like,
So
a
dry.
punchline, it's so, yeah, exactly, so dry and monotone
Yeah,
that
that's true.
kind of makes
I mean,
sense.
in a perfect world, I think I would go maybe the other direction. I mean, I know this is impossible now since he's passed, but
Yeah.
I think Chris Farley could really do a good Geralt.
What?
I'd kill for that. I'd kill
Michael J. Fox is Geralt in The Witcher.
yeah, man, but then he's like he can't stop moving.
But to go back, Jesus.
I'm just saying, man. Like, how do you pull that
Too
off?
soon,
You
too
can't
soon.
be. What do you mean too soon? He's still alive. He's had
They're
that
called
forever.
combos. They're called
They're combos. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he actually just gets his whole way through by just walking in a straight line. His sword shakes so much it's stabbing the
Oh,
enemies.
God.
Anyway,
How about Nick Offerman?
Going to hell.
yeah, oh yeah, that makes
that
perfect
could be
sense.
fun. That'd be real fun. Yeah.
You're welcome.
But to go back
Guys, if
to
you're
what you
watching,
said,
put in the chat who you would cast as Geralt. He's a very serious character. Look it up if you're not familiar.
back to what you said, Vi Guy, and how Geralt delivers a line. But that's why I brought this up with it not being CG Project Red. What if he does it? What if he's very serious in the books all the time? I don't know that. I never read any of them.
True.
So that's why I'm trying to put that out there. That like, the artist, interpretation of them might be something completely different
We're
than what we
basing this off
expect
of
in the video
game,
games.
so it could be totally different.
Yeah.
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 That's true. It's hard to say what kinds of liberties CD Projekt Red took with Geralt's, his personality.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to say. It's gonna be interesting.
I don't know. I want to see it.
Is there? Is everything working with the stream?
Yeah, my stream is healthy as all hell.
When I went to the page, it's still telling me live in 95 minutes.
Oh no, it's up. It's running.
It was working for me.
Yeah, it's running.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
since we're doing a sidebar anyway, I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's see. Microsoft actually renewed the trademark for a canceled game. Everybody remember Scalebound?
I read that. Yes.
The multiplayer dragon co-op experience. I think it was kind of open world.
The one that got shelved.
Yeah.
It did get shelved about 3-4 months ago. We heard about it being canned, but it says they still want the name, and I don't know. Perhaps it will be coming back. Maybe they're saving this for a Scorpio option. Maybe they're saying, "Hey, shit, we need something for the Scorpio. Let's we already got a lot of work done on this. Let's just upscale this shit."
Yeah.
Did they though, or did they actually go? You know what? Let's put this one on the shelf until Scorpio comes out, because that'd be a good title.
But then why cancel it? Why not just say,
Maybe
push
it was never
back?
really canceled.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I
just
don't know
saying,
why they
it
would.
just could be a ploy.
Yeah. True enough. That's fair. I thought it was interesting nonetheless, because I thought that game did appear intriguing. So I was
Maybe
looking
they'll
forward to
revive
it.
PT while they're at it. Put that on screen.
But could you see PT moving to Microsoft? That would be crazy. Oh god, that'd be a punch in the dick to Sony for sure.
Yeah, it would.
All right, guys. That's most of the news from our Facebook page and from E3 and whatnot. Anybody have any news that they wanted to throw in before we get into what we've been playing?
I think you guys threw it out last week when I wasn't here, but I'm excited about Far Cry 5. The crew was announced.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed got a little screen cap of that. Apparently set in like Egyptian times is what I've heard.
I thought that I heard something about
Yeah.
that. I'm not sure. Do we know what it's called yet?
Officially, I don't think
Yeah.
so. No.
Okay. Yeah, I figure we'll get more
Ubisoft was
about
very
that.
vague about how they kind of went about that whole thing, but I think at E3 we'll see something from at least one of those games.
Right on.
My guess,
Right on.
Far Cry, man, they pump Far Cries out like left and right. So
Yeah, but this one has a number.
true, that is true. Cool with me, man. I
Right
love
on.
that whole franchise. So
yeah, it's a good one.
Considering how much Breath of the Wild supposedly borrowed from Far Cry 3, maybe they'll do like a rap battle answer to Breath of the Wild with Far Cry 5 and just like take everything Breath of the Wild did and just add more shit.
hey, do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad about that. I don't remember the interconnectivity between gameplay mechanics that Far Cry had. The last one I didn't play Primal yet,
Primal's okay.
but yeah. Did you notice any type of interconnectivity gaming aspects? Like if you lit something on fire, did it
oh yeah.
have repercussions on your?
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what else.
There's all sorts of.
Obviously, you couldn't
stuff.
fly in that game.
You can, but you can't.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can like
One of
you
those.
can like release your owl or bird of prey, but you take control of him, and that's how you spot enemies and scope out outposts. You can even drop bombs, and not they call them bombs, but they're actually bees nests with like poison
yeah.
freaking bees. You drop them on enemies and shit.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's like in the way that Breath of the Wild, you light something on fire, well, that the whole damn field's gonna go up.
Yeah, but like in Breath of the Wild, if you light something on fire and then try to paraglide above it, the hot air will actually lift you up.
That I have not messed with, but I highly, highly doubt it.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I was considering, is if that borrowed those type aspects from it, because that would be super cool.
Yeah,
and,
no, that'd be
and to be
cool.
honest, I think, and I know I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but whenever one game does something amazing, like I expect to see that in other games now. You know what I mean? So I expect to see other games integrate gaming systems like that across the board.
Oh, I
But
mean, you have to at this point.
yeah,
Breath of
well,
the
I mean,
Wild
we'll
did it so
see.
good that that's just like the next bar, and it's only gonna get
Mhm.
better
Here's
from
how
there.
it's like. Think about how much GoldenEye affected console shooters. Now look at Breath of the Wild. I think it's going to be GoldenEye level as far as affecting the future of games of its kind.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Wouldn't be mad about that at all. So, let's go ahead and start with Harry. You've been playing many games this week, sir.
I've been playing a few. It's been difficult given that I've been dealing with a lot of like this kind of stuff lately. So
Yeah. No.
me and my wife have been playing Worms WMD. I got my neighbor over yesterday. We
Nice.
played some there too.
Mm.
That's a fun game if you have like a little group of people and you just
Yeah.
want to sit down and have a
Is
good
there a
time.
campaign to it like
There
most of
is a
them?
campaign to it, yeah, and
Is it hard as hell?
it can be, yeah. Some of it is, but they introduced a bunch of different vehicles, tanks, helicopters, like mining equipment, so you could go underneath people. You could even go in the water without dying in one of those. And
Well,
I mean, there's
I
weapons
Nice.
galore. There's a crafting system now.
mm,
Yeah, it's
Nice.
pretty good. It's a fun game.
I've
But
been meaning to get some hands on with it, but I haven't tried it
yeah,
yet.
I'm super jealous. I've always loved Worms, and I'm just ready for that to come down in price. Take it down to 20. I'll give you
I know
20.
it is for $30, man. I was like, it's kind of a hard one to bite, but it was worth it. It was definitely worth
Yeah.
it, especially because it made the wife happy. So, whatever.
Happy wife, happy life. There you
Yes, exactly. Other
Right
than
on.
that, I've played a little bit of stuff, Broforce, different various games on Steam, so I could try to lock down our video options here because I will be doing live Let's Plays in the very near future. I'm going to try to record one today, and that game is going to be PlayerUnknown's Battleground, hopefully. So,
Ooh.
I am looking
Ooh.
forward to that. I've been seeing it all
That's
over
the
the place.
H1Z1
It's like
mod.
DayZ plus H1Z1. It's actually an Arma 3 mod, I believe.
I believe you're right.
Okay.
Same concept though, King of the Hill, up to 100 players. It's crazy. I can't wait to play that game.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: have you caught episode 1, season 3 of Rick and Morty yet?
I've caught episode 1. I purchased the Fire Stick. I'm trying to get episode 2, and I haven't been able to find it anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know if it's out yet, to be honest.
It's already aired, but it's just
Oh,
like
did
they
it?
locked it down as far as streaming capabilities from anywhere.
Okay. What'd you think?
Oh, it was good. Yeah, it was real good.
It was one of my favorite.
Yeah, that Szechuan sauce, bro.
Back in the day,
whole
my
goal.
wife
That's
used
the
to
whole
work.
goal, Morty. Just Szechuan sauce. Just give me all the Szechuan sauce.
My wife used to work at McDonald's, so I asked her if she remembered it. And she's like, "Why do you keep going on about the Szechuan sauce? It's like, it's the best sauce ever."
So good.
In any case, that being said, have you tried Pocket Mortys yet?
No, I need to. I do. I'm kind of
Do
ashamed
it.
that I haven't yet. Is there any
It's
sort of
good.
like multiplayer on that?
Not that I've come across as of yet, but it doesn't. At this point, I mean, I'm still working through like quote unquote campaign,
Right.
and it's good enough that you're like I go to it every day for at least 10, 15 minutes. It's worth it.
Okay.
Just do it. Especially if you're into the show. I mean, you're the one that turned me onto the show.
Oh yeah.
So
You know how I
knowing
am about
how
it.
big of a fan of the show you are, like you'll appreciate every aspect of this game for sure.
So yeah, okay. So you got caught up throughout the whole series, then, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep. Yeah. The only one I haven't seen, I guess, like you said, it just aired, but I haven't seen episode 2 of season 3 yet.
Okay, then we're on the same page, regardless.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's definitely worth it. It's a lot of fun. Get into that for sure. So, but Vi Guy, what have you been playing, sir?
Oh man, what haven't I been playing?
Oh.
Well, on Tuesday I took the day off because that was the day I was going to be receiving Injustice 2 Ultimate Edition via
What?
Amazon Prime,
Nice.
and I did it 10 a.m. on the dot. It was perfect. This game, you guys, oh my god, it's good. First game was good. It did. NetherRealm showed that they had what it takes to do justice to the DC name and
To do justice to injustice.
that's right. We like the low-hanging fruit around here, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. But they added many new layers for this one. The the system that Mortal Kombat X, the previous NetherRealm game, used for variations gave you 30 characters basically. Each one had 3 variations, so that's 90 different ways to play that game. So I wondered how they were going to integrate that into Injustice 2, because the Injustice 2 is very obviously built on the MKX engine. From the player select screen to the menus, everything's the same. You know, they gussied it up to give it that Injustice feel. But it's very much on the same engine. So having played that game for 2 years straight, I feel like I'm totally prepared for what they're going to bring for Injustice 2. But what I'm getting at here is that they added the gear system, which has absolutely revolutionized the way I look at the game and the things that I think about when I'm at work and I can't play the game. I've been maining, I can't choose between Catwoman and Harley. They're both holdover characters from the first game who I knew how to use both of them really well. And so it's nice being able to go online against a whole bunch of cast of new characters and still have these two who I can at least go back to it. I already know their combos and they have new stuff on top of that, so that's nice. But what I really want is to sink my teeth into one of these new characters. It's just, there's an overwhelming amount of them right now. I haven't even tried them all yet. Captain Cold, Blue Beetle, haven't touched them. I think they both look cool. I'm overwhelmed. And every time I play that game, I just sometimes sit there and stare at the menu like, which direction am I going to take it in tonight? Am I going to try to knock out story mode, which I spent all of yesterday, from 9:30 a.m. until 7 p.m. beating story mode on hard difficulty. Just because you can't use Brainiac, the boss character, until you beat story mode. And I'm a stickler about having a full cast at all times. So I made that one of my first priorities. Very cinematic. People are talking about the facial cinematics in this story mode and in this game in general. Mostly Supergirl and Harley Quinn just have certain standout scenes that we've not seen facial animations like this in a game, period, let alone a fighting game. There's this one scene where Harley Quinn is chewing gum and talking at the same time. She's just so expressive, and they match the mouth to the talking and the gum chewing so perfectly that it blew my mind. And immediately I got on the NetherRealm's forums, Test Your Might, and started, looking at the subject of how do they do this. And there's a lot of talk of some kind of innovative new way of doing mocap. For those who don't know what mocap means from back in the day, motion capture on the lower half of a person's face, to finally find a way to get the mouth right, because we all know the mouth and the eyes, those are the hard ones. So given Mortal Kombat or NetherRealm Studios' heavy use of motion capture in the past just for their fighting game motion capture, I would not be at all surprised if they dropped a chunk on some new facial tracking motion capture to get these faces right. Because like I've said last week, even if you guys don't ever plan on going online, if you're intimidated by that kind of thing, like so many people are, I don't blame you. But this game is worth at least renting, if not buying, just for the story mode alone. Is that good? So that's cool. That and Pokemon Picross on my 3DS is all I've been playing, guys.
Nice. So what characters are your go-tos with this?
On Injustice 2?
Yeah.
Harley Quinn and Catwoman.
And you mentioned that the armor, what do they call it?
The gear system.
Yeah, the gear system. Are you able to level up the pieces of gear that you'll see on them?
No. All gear, when you receive it, is level locked, meaning, let's say my level 5 Harley Quinn might win, if she's really lucky, a rare or a quote-unquote epic piece of gear, which might be like a level 20 piece of gear. Awesome that I have it, but guess what? I don't get to use it
until you get that level. I gotcha.
That's right. So here's the cool thing about this game. In the first game, like most NetherRealm fighting games, your character, you have a level that you level up with experience. Right now I'm level 35. I was only level 20 from doing online matches, then I did story mode yesterday, and that leveled me up 15 levels. That's my level. Now, each of the characters on the roster, all 30 of them right now, have their own level. So every character that I've not touched yet is still level 1. When you get a character up to level 20 just by using them in versus matches at home, local matches, internet matches, King of the Hill, whatever you're doing, you're constantly earning gear and earning experience towards that character's level. Once you get your favorite character up to level 20, they get something super special that will augment the way they play. Like the Flash, for example. If you love the Flash so much that you're willing to play him until level 20, you get a projectile, which is something the Flash has never
Really
had, because somebody that fast shouldn't need a projectile. He is a human projectile, right? But that's just an example of how they'll just pile on the badassness of your character.
Yeah, that's cool.
If you show a little dedication.
Cool.
I'll give you an example. One augment that I unlocked for Superman, even though I haven't leveled him up to 20. It's just something I got out of luck. His super is usually everybody's super. Their super moves are long cinematic moves that if you hit the opponent, you take like 50% of their life bar. You hold L2 and R2, and it just goes into the super. Superman's natural way of doing this is flying at the opponent and grabbing them by the collar. That's how it starts. Right now, how you start it is very important because you got to work it into the fighting to make sure it hits. I got a modifier for him to where instead of charging straight at them in such an obvious and broadcasted fashion, he will crash down from the sky like Doomsday.
Oh, cool.
It's basically unblockable. If the opponent doesn't have some way of teleporting out of the way, they will get supered by you every time. So that's just an example. This game is so deep because let's say you have an online opponent who's Scarecrow and you know Scarecrow like the back of your hand. What if his Scarecrow has some crazy ass modifier abilities that you don't know about? Well, he might kick your ass because you don't understand his moveset. Even though you thought you knew Scarecrow.
Because that gear changes the character that much. That's cool.
It can change not only the look of your character, it can change
the abilities.
The way they play. It's all kinds of shit. Like Batman has a special set of armor that does double defense against Batman villains.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So they kind of tie it into the mythos of that character as well.
All kinds of shit like that.
That's neat.
I'm sure somebody like you who understands these stories and the lore behind them would get a lot more out of this game than I am content-wise. I'm just playing it to fight. I like NetherRealm's fighters. They're good. And this one is really good. So
cool.
That's all I got to say for now.
All right. Well, awesome. Ironclad, what have you been wasting your time on?
Let's see. Well, I don't think I picked this up last week for the show, but I've been playing a little bit of Bloodborne.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, I got a few friends of mine that are pretty avid players of it, and I don't know about the other Dark Souls games. This is the first game I've played of that design, difficulty and dodging and all that stuff. I don't even know how the other ones play. But this is the first one, and it's a lot of fun. It is very difficult. I've died multiple times. But it's multiplayer, so a lot of my friends get to come in and kind of show me the ropes, and it's a pretty enjoyable game. It's not very story much, just kind of just killed said boss. But my buddy's a pretty big fan of it, so excuse me. He's giving me the whole lore backstory. He's like, you don't really understand it. You wouldn't really understand anything just playing the game. This is one of those games where you gotta look it all up and
research.
Do some research. So, but other than that, actually, that's about it. Just Bloodborne. I like I said last week with my experiences recently with Battlefield. I've been actually just decided to take a break.
Have they fixed any of that yet?
I honestly don't know. I haven't seen anything, but I am on the subreddit Battlefield and Battlefield 1 all the time, and it's almost like every other day I see someone else posted a clip of their experience of someone not dying or they're
still not fixed.
A big black screen. So I imagine it's not fixed yet. I don't know. I'm just gonna wait.
Well, typically when something like that gets fixed, there's at least a news story on every IGN, Polygon, all of the big ones, Kotaku.
But I mean, I've never seen any articles on those sites claiming that there was a problem to begin with.
Oh, I gotcha.
So I'm not quite sure what to expect on if they're even working on it or if they even know about the situation. So it'll be interesting. I can only hope that it. For an experience that it gets fixed, like I said, that they are moving to monthly patches and monthly updates. So you can only hope that that's on their list of things to fix. And
sure.
with the new month coming up soon, maybe that's what's going to happen. Even with E3, maybe they're announcing something towards Battlefield 1. Who knows? But
yeah, that would make sense.
So yeah, that's about it. Like I'm taking a break from that, and it's all PS4 right now. Just Bloodborne and a little more Kingdom Hearts.
Right on. All right, guys. Well, I have been spending most of this week. I was out of town, majority of it doing some training for work. So I was doing mostly mobile stuff. Injustice 2's mobile came out, was it like 2 or 3 days before the actual console release. So I kind of got deep into it. So many more modes. Really enjoy it. It's good. The fighting, in my opinion, isn't as good, but the other modes and graphics and whatnot offset it to where, a lot of times you got to remember it's the journey, not the destination, that is the reward in and of itself. So beginning to build a roster back up and whatnot, although it would have been nice to just transfer my roster over. Not all those characters are available in Injustice 2 at this time. So that makes sense. I get it. But still really good. They have an operations mode like many mobile games have, to where you can send characters on missions that take anywhere from 30 minutes up to 12 hours is what I'm up to now. And I'm sure they go longer than that the more you level up. And this will actually gain your character's experience, and they can level up this way.
And I'm directly benefiting from everything Stu does.
Yeah. But previously in Injustice 1, console versus the mobile version, you used to connect with your WDID or WBID. However, I guess they realized that might have been being abused.
Oh, totally. I abuse it constantly.
So that being said, they now do a console ID link, I believe it's called, and it's a temporary access number that, when associated with a mobile version, links the two titles, and goes both ways. So
when Stu works on his Injustice 2 game, I'll get home from work later that day and have a few bonus mother boxes, which are basically loot boxes, waiting for me on my home menu as a reward for the hard work he put into the mobile game that day.
Yeah, kind of a unique co-op experience, to say the least.
It's nice to have someone doing it for me, so thank you. I don't really want to play that game.
Who doesn't get into mobile titles, it is kind of a nice benefit for you, right?
Yeah. One of the perks of being on a podcast.
Does that technically make you friends with benefits?
Oh, God.
I mean, it does, doesn't it?
Don't repeat that. Not like that. It's easily misconstrued.
Not like that.
Not like that, Harry. Not like that.
How am I going to explain this to my mother?
It's part of the podcast.
I swear.
Well, that being said, I also been getting into pocket boardies. Obviously, that's still something that I'm really spending some time on. Like I said, I visit it daily. Along with still Injustice 1, they still have their challenge characters that you get for going through, and so that's still worthwhile. Fire Emblem Heroes is still something I'm enjoying. They're putting out new things all the time. They just did their second March Madness bracket for this time. It was female sorcerers, and I chose the winning team on that one, so nice. I was happy about that. And then The Walking Dead No Man's Land. No, what's it called? Yeah, No Man's Land. I'm still playing that as well. Even though the season has ended, they're still doing second chances on some of the seasonal missions that they did throughout the year. And good stuff there. So I'm really enjoying that. But that pretty much wraps up what I've been playing. I haven't gotten a chance to do too much else.
I don't know. Does arcade count?
Yeah. True enough. While I was up at the city this last week, Ironclad met up with me, and we hit Dave & Buster's, which I hadn't been to in probably 10 years. So I got my feet wet in an arcade experience. Had a pretty decent Connect 4 match. On a giant Connect 4 board. That was pretty cool.
Yep.
We did shootout. I think you got me once. I got you back.
I know, and we should have had a tiebreaker. That's not fair.
You should have.
But it's funny because on the other side of it, they have one that's from the top of the key, which would have been a lot more fun too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's just like a lot larger, farther away version.
The one I really enjoyed, but at the same time was slightly disappointed by, was the arcade version of Mario Kart.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
But they didn't connect.
They didn't connect. They're right next to each
hell?
The two of them, they're basically touching. There's two of them right next to each other, and you can't play each other.
We
both got first place. Yeah.
So basically, somebody at the arcade fucked up.
I mean,
they fucked up. They know that they can fix it, but they're too lazy. Those.
Yeah. And the thing is, just because you, like, in my experience, if you win a game, typically you keep playing, right?
Yeah, we both got first, and you don't. Well, that's just us growing up with Cruising USA and all that. So,
yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, any driving game that you do, it seems like, if you win that race, you continue on to the next one. But no, that was like, all right, give us some more money. I was like, what? Number one, we're not connected. Number two, I won the race. Why I gotta pay you more to keep playing?
I beat you. You owe me.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess this is what you got to do in America to keep an arcade alive.
Yeah, something like that, I guess.
True,
But you know what? It was a good time.
It was a good time, and the main reason I brought it up is so I can have bragging rights on that tickets I hit.
I see. Yeah, you did. What was it called? It was
basically
like hammer smash.
Yeah, like in when you ever see the carnivals guys and they have the hammer, you gotta hit it as hard as you can, try and ring the bell
At the top, yeah. At fairgrounds and stuff.
But you can't hit it too hard. It's all electronic. It's not like actual just hammer and bell. So you can't hit it too hard, you can't hit it too soft. And I was like, here, let's try this one. And I'd say that to them, and then I got it first try, 1,000 tickets.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Boom. And then I mic dropped my card and walked away. It was pretty fun, though. I couldn't believe I did it first try. Still.
Yeah, that was crazy. He's like, oh, it's like this. It's like, no. What?
Yeah, that was awesome. And then I got a nerd's rope and gummy bears and didn't save the rest of my tickets.
That's right. Yeah, that's funny. And then I was going to ask you about this, but, it's not necessarily video game related, but how did you enjoy Alien Covenant?
That is an interesting question.
Okay.
It is a good film.
Mm-hmm.
It is a extremely strange alien movie. And that's putting it lightly. Even after Prometheus, this movie goes on a whole nother level. Outside of Resurrection, outside of even just the concept of it is just very bizarre. And it even after the questions that Prometheus gave us, and it answers a lot of those questions, yet raises new ones, and it's a good horror film.
So
all in all,
it's not in the Prometheus universe. It's not part of the Prometheus timeline. It's just
this takes place directly after Prometheus.
Oh.
10 years, and they talk about it in the movie.
Isn't the robot in it?
I don't want. We're getting close to spoilers, so I don't want to get.
Okay. Well, I thought I saw him in a trailer. That's why I was like, wait.
Yeah. I mean, Fassbender is in it. I'll say that much.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, in other movie news, did you guys hear that they got a new actor to portray the role of Eddie Brock as Venom?
Oh, it was who was it?
In what?
A new standalone Venom movie that supposedly will be coming out.
Oh yeah, Tom Hardy, wasn't it?
Tom Hardy, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Bane himself. It'll be interesting. I think that's kind of cool.
Max. He's Mad Max too.
Oh yeah, and Mad Max. True.
I think he pulled it off.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely better than the that 70s show guy, whoever that was.
I knew you were gonna say that.
That was just a weird choice for that.
I thought it was weird too, but I mean, I don't think it was his fault. I think it's also the writing in Spider-Man 3. Everybody can blame.
That was rough. And the way they portrayed him, like giving him Sharpie, the pointed teeth when he wasn't actually.
Yeah, he should have just been a big black symbiote, crazy, cool looking alien.
Yeah, so that was kind of weird. But all right, guys. Well, I think that covers what we've been playing. I will go ahead and mention that The Walking Dead New Frontier Episode 5 drops May 30th. I did read an article right before we did the podcast that states that. So if you've been playing that, like I have with my better half, check it out. It's a good one. And should be something you look forward to. But that being said, does anybody have anything else they want to throw in before we give this one a wrap?
Not really.
Wraps it up for me.
All right, then. Well, guys, thanks for taking the time. Thanks for checking out the stream. Catch us next week, and we will hopefully be able to comment on the things. Like I said, moving forward, this seemed to go pretty well. Hopefully, we should be able to maintain this. And
we hope so.
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely thanks for everybody listening, watching. If you didn't catch the whole stream, you can go back to our channel, catch it there. There's obviously probably some tweaks and stuff that we need to do. Go to the comments down below, too, because I'm curious. For all you Witcher fans, tell us who you would cast as Geralt in the Netflix series, because I'd be curious to see some responses on that.
For sure.
I'd like to take a moment to thank my co-hosts for all their hard work on today's live stream and all the hard work they'll probably continue doing going forward.
For sure.
And if they'll let me stay in the club on good looks and charm alone.
Hell yeah. But either way, please hit the like and share button if you did enjoy it, and click the bell notification so that way you know when we do go live and when we do post stuff. And I think that's about all we got.
All right, guys. Well, as we're fond of saying, don't get caught.
I love your faces.
Peace.